What is heckin' up, you guys? I wore a name tag today in case you forgot who I am. It's me, your host, Junkyard Mook. This is my 1964 F250 with a flatbed and a nice oily Y-block. Last time you guys saw this, I was pulling it off of a farm, not too far from here actually, and got it running. And then I kind of left it as a mystery as to whether I bought it or not, but if you follow me on Instagram, Junkyard Mook on Instagram, then you would know. I do indeed own this truck. If you remember, this truck doesn't have a fuel system, it has a boat tank. And carburetor's not too happy, so I'm gonna replace it. I don't have a new one, but I do have a carburetor that I rebuilt actually. I think it was 2.5 years ago or so. I actually rebuilt it for that 68 farm truck that Kevin and I have on our property to help us with farming. So let's see here. It was a 2-barrel. It was actually the first carburetor I ever rebuilt, and I think it's this guy. Come here. Yep, this looks like it was rebuilt by me. Here we go! Okay, but first, before I get started, I should probably let you know what I'm doing. This episode, we're gonna focus on cleaning this truck because it's been sitting with the same dust for probably almost 14 years now. I think it was parked 13 years. But it's been sitting with the same dirt and dust for all these years, so I would like to clean it so I'm not sneezing a million times when I sit in it, and then also address the fuel system so it can run. I do have a new tank for it that AMD sent me. Thank you. So hopefully we can get that set up and we can get this truck at least running in this episode. But yeah, that's the reintroduction of my 64, what I call my 64 dump truck. Even though it's an F250 with a flatbed that tilts and dumps, so it's my dump truck, okay? Ta-da! I don't know why I closed that. I'm taking the carburetor off. Real quick update before we get started. Spicy Nova is still exactly how I left it in the last episode. Obviously, I don't have an engine yet. I'm trying to find a transmission. My seats got here so I can start work on my interior. But the 3 big things I'm waiting on are picking up my engine, finding a transmission, and the suspension in the back. Oh my god, my cactus is blooming. I haven't watered that thing in like 5 months. The last video I did on this, I did a hot sauce challenge. The amount of people getting mad at me for not drinking milk is absurd. First of all, you have a point, okay? Second of all, I don't like milk. I hate it. I would rather my tongue be burned off by a couple million Scovilles than drink milk. Plus, I was drinking tea, which is not carbonated, and actually that works really well. You guys should try it. Booger truck needs a transmission. I've got a transmission. I need to go through it and rebuild it because I bought it off of Craigslist actually. Hopefully it's good and I can actually heckin' drive this thing. The end. That's the end of the update. Okay, back to the dump truck. Here, you sit in that pile of poop. Okay, time for this guy to get the heck out. Oh, I'm gonna lose that. When I can't find this later, guys, remind me that it's right there. Thanks. What are you doing? Why are you dripping? Oh, because I twisted it. That's not, stop it, that's not good. I think I got this huge beefy radiator to sit on. That's a joke, I'm not sitting on it. But I am leaning on it. Ow. I heckin' hate springs. Ow, ow, ow. You're free. Oh, stop it, I'm sorry, gosh. Okay, keep your secrets, that's fine. Come on, twiggy arms. No. Let heck? Ow, God. So when Kevin and I were moving houses, this was in the front yard of our old house, and we needed to move it for showings. We were driving this up on the trailer, and it started on fire in here because there's a fuel leak, and I can see exactly where it is. So that was fun. I almost had 2 vehicles that were on fire at one point in their lives. And only one of them would have been my fault. Ah, why did I grab the shortest? Crap! Nobody move! Where's the magnet? No, not the engine, you idiot. Here we go. Not today! Nope, I'm not bleeding yet. Why is it always the tiniest, stupidest screws that are torqued to 1,000,000? Ah, got it. Yippee! Release the cable! I said drop it. Ow, thank you. Okay, now to fight this one. All I'm doing is rounding off that. So now I'm moving to disconnecting our temporary fuel line down here, aka the rubber hose that is hose clamped to this line, but down here. And then I'm just gonna finagle it through everything to get it out because I'm just gonna deal with getting that off, not in my engine, and instead just get my carburetor off. Oh wait, I got a bucket down there because it's already dripping gas on me. So that's really fun. Would you let go without slamming my knuckles into the block? There. Alright, we're just gonna let this drain. Oh my god! How much are you gonna... Ugh. This isn't stopping. I might just be trapped here forever. I'm so mad right now. Is it stopping? Are you almost done? Okay, I honestly thought it would just leak what's in the fuel line from right there down, since everything is uphill on the other side of that. It's gonna run out at some point. I can't even stop my clip, so this is just gonna be a really long shot. Oh, it's done! Well, that was fun, thank you. Here. Sit there and think about what you did. Okay, now it's down to the 4 carburetor nuts and then try to wiggle this guy out, which is probably not gonna work. Yay! Oh god, are you serious? How tight are these? Oh no! Ah! Ow. Okay, not as bad as I thought. And 4. Carburetor should be free. Oh yeah, this is gonna be real fun. Real fun, real fast. Let's see, which way do you want to go? This way? Alright, we'll go this way. Can't reach much farther. Ah. So my camera died, but that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. You can see the fuel leak. Well, you can see the puddle, but yeah, nice healthy fuel leak under there. So I'm gonna tip this over a bucket, get it emptied out so it's not just sitting there leaking, and then we'll work on getting that cleaned up and ready for the new to it carb. I'll pull this gasket off, and then I will put paper towels in those holes so nothing falls through. Anxiety. The train is even screaming. Got it! Just while I'm cleaning it. I don't need crap falling in there and adding more problems, so we're just gonna put those there. Oh, is this a spacer? This is a spacer. That's this. So I'm gonna try to just, you know, kind of pry this off in the most stupid way possible. Okay, maybe not. Change of plans. You guys are back up on the tripod because I can't hold that and do this at the same time. Jeez. Fine, I'll get tools. There we go. Okay, I think it's done. Oh! I'm losing my step stool. I know you're supposed to lift all four corners equally. And I did. Oh. Okay, we still gotta prep that surface. And it's far away, so to fix the truck, you must become the truck. Please don't break. That'll be awful for my self-esteem. The gaskets just come off in chunks, of course. I'll sweep those up later. Oh, that's the largest chunk of gasket I've pulled off. This is really stuck on there. I wonder if the super scraper will get that last bit. It should, it's a super scraper. I'm gonna lose that. I'm gonna work on getting the last 3 tiny pieces of gasket off and get back to you guys. Okay, I got the gasket finally all the way off. Now I need to scrape and prepare both sides of the spacer so that it is ready to go back on as well. The super scraper works wonders. Okay, everything has been scraped off. I'm going to go over them with a rag and maybe some brake clean quick and just get the remaining dirt off of this and the intake over there. And then we'll start putting gaskets and carburetors on. Just one carburetor, actually. Now we got the remaining dirt off, and the gasket has a nice surface to lay on. Actually, now that I've already gone ahead and wiped it off clean, I think I'm gonna mess it up again by vacuuming all of this crap out of here. It's just years of mouse poop and other debris, so I'm gonna vacuum that out. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera or not, but there is a big difference. A lot of stuff did end up getting sucked into the vacuum, so I'm pleased with it. I'm gonna wipe down that surface one more time since I did get a lot of stuff stirred up, and then we'll get the gasket and whatnot on. Okay, so before I can just slap this carburetor on my truck, I need to go through a few things, initial settings and whatnot. I need to check the transfer slots. They're supposed to be squares. They're not quite squares. They're open just a little bit. You can kind of see it down there. The camera won't focus on them, but they're supposed to be squares and they're slightly open, so they're rectangles. I will adjust those a little bit, and then I'm also going to adjust both of these and make sure they're about a turn and a half out, and I can adjust those as I need to once it's on the truck and running. So I'm going to do those two things. The transfer slots you adjust by moving this guy in or out depending on what you need. I'm going to do that first. And one thing to note when you're checking your transfer slots is that your choke needs to be off. There. Now those are square. Gonna move on to these idle mixture screws. So there's all the way down. Half. One. And another half. There. Okay, now by holding my choke off and adjusting the screw right here, I was able to adjust the transfer slots. They're probably so tiny you can't see them, but now they are squares. You guys will just have to trust me in my skills in geometry. They are squares. And I know this is the right side up because it says top right there. Okay, what is going on? I don't want to bend or break anything, but I don't want to smash it with my hand. Ooh. There we go. And the piece we've all been waiting for. Oh, it's twisted. Ta-da! Okay, it's bolted on for a second time. I had to adjust a few things on multiple connections here to make sure this carburetor worked on this engine and everything bolted up and as safe to use. That being said, carburetor is good besides obviously the fuel line. But for now, I think I'm going to move on to the interior. Ooh. I need to replace the gas tank, and before I get in there, I'm going to vacuum all of this up because I don't really want to be laying in and working in it if I don't have to. We're not out in the field or anything, so I'm going to clean that up and get this truck actually looking a little better. God, I love the interior of this. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good interior, so I'm excited to clean this up and see how it is. I'm going to get the vacuum in there and go from there. Okay. I didn't buy that. And since I'm working on the fuel system, it's time to take this guy out. Oh. Coors Light. Oh, there's a few old cans over here I forgot about. Extension cord. What the heck? Hose and a glove. It's coming with. Oh, sweet. Kitchen matches. Is there any in there? Yeah. Kevin, we got matches. Kevin can't hear me. A screwdriver! Oh my gosh! And a snow scraper! And a lot of mouse pits. So I'm gonna get the vacuum. This is why I can't have nice things. Should we see if these matches still work? That's a good quality match right there. None of this flimsy stuff that you get now. Something tells me this is a bad idea. I'm just gonna put all that in the back of my truck. That's a problem for a future Mook. Excuse me guys, I need to sneak in here. Oh, sorry. Ran into you a bit there. Oh, there's the other half to my shifter. I'll just set that right there. Yep, still in neutral. dusty. Quick once over of a vacuum done just to get most of the dirt out, so getting the gas tank out isn't quite as a filthy job. After that's out and done, the new one's back in, I will go through and do a more in-depth clean. Okay, now it's time to get the old tank out of here and get that brand new shiny tank in here. It's just a matter of unbolting and getting wires disconnected, so to be honest, I've never replaced a tank that's behind the seat, so this should be interesting. And I have no idea how full it is. First bolt. What you doing?
What you working on here, Mook?
Another gas tank, can you believe it?
Oh, I can't at all. Is yours super rusty? I don't remember.
Doesn't look great.
Oh, yeah, no, take that out.
I forgot I could reach the other two bolts with the impact. What am I doing with a wrench? Now just the feed line.
Y'all. I need one of this. Shitty line wrench.
Oh. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Mook.
How many gas tanks have I done now? A lot.
I think literally every car you've worked on.
Alright. Oh, it's out. Alright, she's sprayed. Besides the filler neck. I need a foot. Oh, thank you. Gotta get the hose clamp out of the rubber of the filler neck. There we go.
We actually got it?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Ready, Mook? Pull the lever, Kronk. Oh, we got a half inch. I can't believe this even moves, to be honest. That might be enough.
Good.
Pull. Oh my gosh, Ben Pack, you're amazing.
Is it dead?
It's dead. Let me get an extension cord.
Wow. Thanks, Ben Pack.
Your face is just a magnet. The last melon.
That would have been the one to hold us up. Okay, we're gonna pull it out my way. I gotta get this feed line on the other side of it. Almost got it. There, it's behind it on the top.
Okay, my side's free.
Too.
You good?
I think so. I think the pinch on this side just rusted apart. You'll love to see it, right?
Oh yeah. I'm already below this, so I can't come out.
It's okay, I'm trying to get the feed line out of the way. There we go. Now I can twist out.
Okay, something seems to be happening. We're doing it. All you, Mook.
Everything's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
How is everything?
Piece of cake. The old gas tank is out. I do like that it matches the truck in the color.
Yeah, it sucks replacing the originals because they're paint matched, but they also don't leak when you replace them. So.
Right.
In-cab tanks are great because they're easy to take out, as you just saw. They're not rusty and underneath the cab.
Yeah.
But they kind of suck because they always stink. Now all you have to do is get yourself a new one. Where the hell are you going to find one of those? Oop, turns out there's no old gas.
Is that just rust?
Yeah, that's just rust. The world's biggest and stinkiest rain machine.
I was just gonna say that. My tank is out, which means this is the time to clean this and get the rest of this smell out. I'm just dipping this small brush in water and getting a lot more of that crap out of here so it's easier to breathe in here. It doesn't smell so bad.
Stinks.
No, the truck.
Stinks.
I believe there was blue under that.
Yeah, no kidding.
So scrubbing it is working. It's just taking forever, and the stuff on the back wall here is very, very, very coarse. So we are actually going to switch gears here and remove the seat and anything else that can't get wet. We're gonna roll this out and power wash it with the garden hose.
It stinks.
It stinks, and it looks like it's coming up easy enough. It's just scrubbing it by hand is taking way too long and being way too meticulous.
Yuck. You gotta pull your headliner.
Yeah.
It smells like mice so bad. We're gonna clean
There's
all this.
a giant nest in here.
Yeah, giant. Like, open that up. Oh wait, you can't, can you? It's just.
Yeah, it's just a giant.
It's just
you can
nest.
see
It doesn't even let you open it. In other news, I might have found some kind of a build tag back here. I've never seen one of these before. What year is this?
64.
Are we sure it's not a 63? There's a
Yeah.
There's a 63 right here.
My title says 64, and it's got the little squares in the grill.
If this is a date, it's 2/20 of 63.
I mean,
I don't know. We'll Google it and figure it out. I've never seen one of those before.
well, the thing is, this truck is like a Frankenstein or mutt of a lot of different things. There was a F250 that people made into a flatbed that dumps.
With
So,
with a 1-ton axle.
There's a lot of weird components about this. This might not even be the original seat.
That's true. I imagine the cab is all original. It's just everything behind it's been hecked with. Well, let's pull our seat out, eh, Stinky?
I feel like I can't breathe.
Yeah, it smells so bad in this thing. If we don't do a 100% flush of this interior, it's never going to be better.
It's gonna be the sneeze mobile.
And it'll just invite more mice in.
Yeah.
Stripping time!
And then I can patch holes in the floor too.
Ooh, yeah, good call, because you have a couple of those. A little research on the internet has shown that is called a buck tag. These seats were made by different distributors and then supplied to Ford, and that is a date on top. So at least the seat was made on February 20th, 1963.
Heck.
It's in really good shape to be that old.
Besides right there, where people are stretching it to get out.
But like that back is incredible.
No, it is really nice. I just wish it wasn't full of mouse poop and pee.
We can fix that. We'll vacuum out the bottom of the seat when we get it out. Let's do that.
I can't believe it, but all these seat bolts are coming out. The seat's ready to come out?
Yep.
Got the last bolt. Alright, I'll wait here for you to come around.
I'm going home. Bye.
No, you're not! Okay. Oh,
That's good. I got it. Ready?
nice and easy.
Now all you have to do is stand up.
Oh no.
Why didn't we do this away from this?
I don't know. It's out!
A new couch.
No! Look how nice this floor is, though.
Back here, anyway, you get forward, it's going to be a
Yeah.
different story in this depression right here. As you can hear. Alright, let's pull our trim, eh?
Yeah.
What's that?
Get these out.
Hi. Once again, resorting to the most valuable tool we own, ironically.
What you got those for?
Well, the internet says I need to do this on a T18. And these flat spots inside the cup on top agree. Hey, there we go. Just couldn't do it with my hands. I didn't have a channel lock large enough.
So we're just getting the shifter out of the way so we can do a more thorough clean and actually get the
Thing,
stuffs.
the flat, floppy, stinky, dirty stuff thing off.
And that is the technical term for it.
Yeah, looks good in there. You'll love to see it, Mook.
Yeah, it's just a bit oily.
Got your shtick.
Thanks. Careful, the top doesn't really stay on.
We'll glue that back on.
Moment of truth. Are you ready? Found a nail. I can see a large view of my tire. I'll just describe it that way.
How's your tire looking?
Not great either. I'm trying not to destroy this. Here's my nice little window to my tire. And a mouse nest. And a hint of a floor.
A hint of floor.
Yeesh.
Wow, okay. We got some license plate work to do, it looks like. That, we might need a couple of fridges for that.
That's literally a bolt.
That was a cab mount. I never looked. How's the fender gap on this thing? Oh yeah, the cab mounts are gone.
Kevin, I don't even have a floor. It's just crumbs.
I mean, we expected this. It's an Iowa truck.
It's just crumbs. Ah.
Here, I'll fold to you. Yeah, going thirds.
Good bit.
What was this? Oh boy.
Just don't look at it.
Your asbestos matting. Oh.
Oh no, it took some of the blue.
Well, Mook, let's get a vacuum in here and see what we got left. You're gonna be here a while.
Yeah, there's a lot of floor crumbs.
We'll be back. Alright, Mook, you ready? I can't even get it open. Oh, it's all behind it. It's in here. You're gonna have to take this whole casing off. Oh, Mook, can't say I've ever taken a heater core out of one of these trucks, and can't say I ever want to do it again.
Right
Now,
there.
what is possibly holding this off? I've unbolted the whole heater box at this point.
What the heck?
I've removed the battery tray, I've removed the heater hoses, I've removed 3 big bolts from the backside, 4 from the inside, the entire front cover, everything holding this on, and unintentionally unbolted the entire freaking heater box at this point, where we can pull the whole HVAC out of the truck. And I can't get the goddamn heater cord to move. I just want to vacuum this shit out.
Wow.
Alright, Google time. I give up.
How stupid were we to think that you could just take off the cover?
Yeah, no kidding. What'd you find, Mook?
I found another bolt in between the firewall and the back of this thing.
Do you think it lines up with the heater core or lines up with the box?
It's right here by the heater core. It's worth a shot.
Alright, give her a pull, see if she'll come out. I imagine you're supposed to remove the entire heater box and do this. Well, what's it take to get our whole box out? 1 bolt over here and 2 cables. You want to just take the whole thing out? Alright, Luke, let's see if you got them all.
There's a ridiculous amount of bolts on this.
They really are.
I think those are just coming through the firewall.
Yep. Looks like you might have it.
This 5-minute task turned into like 2 hours.
Yeah, there's a lot of steps to put a new tank in.
Dad, I meant the mouse nest.
Yay!
Got it.
Now we can clean the mouse nest out. How bad is it?
Here's that mouse nest.
All that for that. There's a pretty good sized mouse nest though. That would have been big stink.
Okay, headliner is next. As you can see, it's not looking its best, and I can't stop sneezing, so all of this needs to get out of here. I just hope that these screws cooperate. Ooh. Putting them in a little wheel bearing cap that I found in here. Okay, this piece is gonna be free after I get this out. So just brace yourself.
I'll close my mouth now.
Yeah, good call. Okay. I pushed that light up there mostly through. But it's probably still gonna fall. Oh my god.
Is it full of crab?
There might have just been some pile with it. It's dirty, that's for sure. We're just gonna tear it. Not bad.
Mr. Lightbulb, no.
Wow, it's so blue up here.
Oh wow, yeah it is.
Look at that.
Blue.
Let's see. Yes. No. Yes. Ready for this disaster, Kevin?
I mean no, but
I
yeah.
mean, no. Oh!
Whoa.
Ta-da!
That's a big one. That's the big one, Mook. Come here, Mr. Bucket.
Ah! That wasn't part of the plan. Who knew that pegboard would just, you know, crumble? Slorp.
In a bucket.
Get out. It's time to vacuum this truck for the 27th time. What's up?
What you got there?
It's time for your shower.
Oh, I don't like this.
Just kidding. We're gonna try to spray down the interior with the garden hose as we have mentioned before, but let's see what this does. What kind of damage we can do. Whee! This is the good part about having no floor. You can just push everything out right there. Well, look how nice this would look if it had a clear coat. That's a pretty blue.
Maybe a linseed oil on it.
It's a pretty truck. It's just falling apart.
Is this how you detail all your cars?
Yeah. Just open the door and let everything go. What you doing, Kevin?
Get some of this tar and paper off. Despite us literally actively soaking it out, it still smells just as bad.
Well, we just started. It's probably just getting everything wet.
Oh yeah.
So we still gotta scrub everything out of here.
Like I'm back in the army.
Missed a spot.
Yes, drill sergeant.
Ready?
Yep. Let's see what you do, Mook.
Oh wow! Wow, that looks awesome.
Yeah. Well, Mook, I think we have an effective solution for our problem. Let's get to it.
Give me the brush. Yeah.
That part stinks just because you sat there.
No. For the record, this is not a wire brush.
It's
This
just
is-
a really stiff
yeah.
bristle brush.
Turns out Dawn dish soap has nothing on D-germ still.
Ready?
Yep.
Let's see our difference. Look at that.
Wow, that looks so much better.
It's just a quick scrub.
Okay, you can see quite a big difference. I just quickly cleaned this half of the door and haven't touched this half yet. I did try to clean the white paneling this door also had, and it completely fell apart. So, we're just gonna ignore that. But look at the difference.
Wow.
Looks a lot better. I'm gonna finish cleaning that
Clear the area.
No. Well, I'm near my truck again.
10 seconds.
Alright, lunch is done. This looks like it has dried quite nicely while we were gone. Unfortunately, I still sneeze in the presence of my own truck.
Oh, hey. So, don't mind me.
Majestic as usual. So, I think we're gonna get this back in the shop and start actually turning some wrenches again now that the smell is a little bit better. And get that gas tank back in. Oh shoot, we didn't wash that floor thing.
There's a lot of steps for a gas tank move. Don't have me help with these anymore.
You don't have a choice.
Wow. Quality with a K.
Yeah. Ready? Wow, that is disgusting.
Also, it's cleaning up way better than I thought with just water.
Yeah. So that right there is where my shifter comes through the floor, and it's super oily, so we're gonna use some degreaser. Let that sit for a bit, and then we'll scrub this down, rinse it off, and say hello to our brand new floor. Alright, I scrubbed it down once. Let's see how well it did. Might need to hit a few spots again. Ooh. Look at that.
We got all the grease and shit off. It's pretty damn good. Wow. I think another pass with some deep in to get the dirt and stuff off will do it.
This is a magical moment, Kevin.
Is it?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
The truck's inside. The first step is, guess what?
What?
A gas Got a new gas tank.
Where'd you get that from?
AMD. The best gas tanks around.
At the best prices as well.
Yeah.
One of these shipped to your door with a sending unit is like a quarter the price of Summit or O'Reilly's.
Yeah.
And they're just as good.
All I have to do now is stop buying such huge trucks that need huge gas tanks.
Yeah, you got a real problem.
Yeah, it's like almost one Mook high here. Here we go. The remainder of the fuel system that I needed. Thank you, AMD.
Check them out on automotivedirect.com.
I feel like I'm opening Christmas presents. Wow!
What'd you get for Christmas?
A gas tank!
It's just what you asked for.
Don't need that. Or that. Ta-da!
Alright, throw it in there, Hecker.
Let's just gently set it in there.
There's more than one way.
And line it up.
Skinny cat.
And bolt it in.
I don't like you and all your rules.
And then dump my life savings into it.
That part I agree with. Should probably brush the foam off first.
There's no time. Okay. You're just sticking it over here.
Yeah, well, it's not over here, so it looks cleaner to me. Okay. Good enough. All right, let's hit the road. All right, got this side.
It needs to go this way like a quarter of an inch.
Okay. How's that?
Looks better.
Okay. Let's bolt it in, Mook.
Ah!
Looks good.
Are you ready to go to your new home? Oh, a little gasket first. Oh man, I had it lined up and everything. Installed.
Heck.
Do you even know what you're doing? No.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
I think I've gotten my answer, and I'm gonna ask you to please set the muffler down and back away slowly.
Those are probably all fair things to ask. All right, this claims to be 2 1/4 inner diameter. I'll be the judge of that. I am putting a new muffler on because this truck only has one. Muffled noises.
Yes. Indeed.
Works. Let's put it on.
You're gonna put that on. I'm gonna give this truck a fuel filter.
That's probably a good call.
Yep. So I'm gonna crawl into the truck and do that. It is a little bit difficult to film that. So I'm just gonna do it and then show you guys the really pretty finished product. Ta-da! Brand new muffler in a truck that doesn't necessarily deserve it, especially when the other one is still old and rusty. But
it needs it.
It needs it. And O'Reilly's only had one in stock. And I don't know.
Everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
I was gonna replace this soft line up here and put a fuel filter on it, but then we realized it was threaded. So
I might have a thingy for that. Let's look. Goodbye. Okay, I mean, maybe. Maybe. Oh! My perfectly pristine pants! Can we get some donations in the chat to give Kevin some new damn pants? It's been a rough year here at Junkyard Digs, okay? Oh, that's, no, this...
Oh.
Expectations versus reality right here.
You can see where Kevin tried to get up by himself there.
Yeah, well, you know, I didn't want to rip my pants. But here I am with even more ripped pants. Oh! That was my last pair.
Get in the bucket! Vacuum time. While I was cleaning my heater box here, I heard a scream.
A scream?
A victorious scream.
Oh, yeah.
From Mr. Kevin.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. We figured out the fuel filter.
Well, I mean, I just installed it, but yeah.
No, you figured it out, and we're so proud of you.
Oh, it's complicated. There's 2 pieces of hose and a filter. Wow. There's also a filter on this pump I forgot about, or at least a little basin thing, so it'll be okay. Let's see if it pumps fuel, huh, Mook?
Yeah, it's a big day for Kevin.
What?
Okay, I vacuumed up what I could, so now I'm just gonna wipe down everything on the inside and outside that I can reach. Might take it apart further, I don't know. I want to do this right and actually give it a really good clean since it's out of the truck and accessible, and there was a million screws to remove in order to get this out of the truck. So if I'm gonna clean it good, it's gonna be now or never. I got my D-germ on high pressure mode. Get all this crap out of here. And that's why I'm cleaning this very well. I want to breathe in my truck. Gosh. Oh, I guess I thought there would be screws on the bottom, but I guess not. I think now I just need to put it back together. So Kevin ran down to Ace down the street and he picked up a few things for the truck here, including a rust inhibitor.
Hopefully, you know, spray this and all the metal grows back, of course.
That is how that works.
What you got me.
Got paint.
Oh.
Gotta mix it up real good, Kevin.
Good.
Otherwise it comes out the wrong color.
Oh.
Okay, we're just going over the brown. Oh man, this is gonna smell so bad. I see you painted my pedal brown a little bit.
Oopies. Well, thankfully you have some black to spray over it.
Mook to the rescue here. Fixed. Oh, not the gas tank. Ta-da!
Now we're ready to make the floor.
Yeah. Okay, so while that is drying, I'm gonna work on putting my heater box thing back together. One thing I do want to note is that this is not a full restoration truck.
What?
I know, right? Shocking. We're gonna patch these and make it so it's safe, but it's not necessarily gonna be the prettiest, but it's going to work. So I'm gonna work on getting this guy all back together as one piece so we can put it in once that is dry, and we can get the floor mat in, and let's hopefully fire this truck up today. What do you say, Kevin?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's fine. We're doing great. Don't remember what these are for. Cables? Cables, these guys. There. Alright, that's as much as I can do until the floor is dry enough to put it in the truck. Kevin's got a little workstation set up here.
Yeah, instead of going on Auto Metal Direct and ordering floors, since we're not doing a restoration by any means, I went outside to where there was an old AC unit sitting around and it had some tin on it. And now it doesn't.
Alright, this is just going to be loud and chaotic, so we'll just show you guys the final product. Ready, Kevin?
I suppose. Missed that one. Yeah, let's just give it one of these. There we go. Yeah, metal forming. Easy, right? There, that's a floor pan.
Yay! Let's see how it fits.
No, it won't.
Yeah, but
I've
let's
got
go
more
see.
work to do. Take a glove. If you put a glove on your foot.
We're getting closer to having floors, though.
Yeah, that's what counts.
First rivet's going in. Maybe.
Yes, let's use the big ones, I said. It don't work great this time.
Well, Kevin, you really outdid yourself once again. Look at that, I got a floor.
It's one of my better patches for using an air conditioner or a stove or a microwave. Yeah.
He's gonna brush it off, and then we're gonna hit it with that brown anti-rust, rust-colored rust paint, and then we're gonna hit it with the black. So while Kevin's taking care of the floor, I'm getting little interior pieces like this door trim ready, and a little prettier to go back in once that paint is dry and we can work in there without disturbing anything. I'm just taking the cloudiness out of it.
Brightening up the bright works?
Yeah. There's still imperfections in it, but that's okay because that's not a perfect truck.
No, that's a showroom SEMA level truck. What are you talking about?
You're right.
It's just got too many drive shafts in it. No Bluetooth drive shafts.
I see a brown floor and I want to paint it black. It did nothing.
Well, we can't all have what we want. But if you try sometimes, you just might find you'll get what you need.
Okay, that was good. That was funny. Okay, but seriously, I'm painting this black. Yay, that side is drying. We gotta, you know, rinse, repeat, whatever on that. And then the floor mat can go in. Okay, so I just gave the cab the final vacuuming after all the paint and everything has dried. So it is time for floor mat. Ow. Let's see if I can juggle this in all by myself.
I'm here.
No. You're over there.
Oh.
Okay, so this is the front, because there's the shifter. So this has to go right there. Yeah, math. There. Installed.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, we're stuck in the floor already.
Heck. That looks really good, Mook.
Yeah, that looks much better. Let's get the floor trim pieces in. There. Both? Yeah, both are in. Both
Hell
are
yeah.
installed now. Okay, getting my tools and hardware all lined up to put this mess back in. Thank you! And then there's that one. Yep. Alright, now to get the cover on, which I painted black. Alright, that's the last bolt on this cover, which means this is officially installed.
Yay!
You got everything on that side?
Yep, everything's ready to go.
Yay! Big strong carry over here.
Yeah, big dome carrier. I like it.
No, big strong.
Big dome.
Oh, hey.
They're dumb, forgot the open door.
Alright, set it down, let it open.
Showing good noises. That seat cleaned up really nice.
Alright, let's get her bolted in. Alright, the seat's in.
What do you think, Mookers?
This is much better.
You got doors that are aligned, hinges that are all oiled, a nice clean interior. This doesn't even look like the same truck.
I kinda wanna see if it'll run.
I think that's a good idea. Alright, Mook, are you ready?
Yeah.
Now we have the old lines on this still, and they were a little cruddy, but we have a filter in place, so yeah, we might have to change that filter soon.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna lead with that. Let's fill the bowls. Go for it.
Thank you. Is that you?
No, is that you?
No.
What the hell?
Is my pedal stuck?
I don't know, you tell me. Yes. There's no return spring up here.
Hold on, the floor mat is in between the pedal and the sticky thing.
Oh, and I might have forgot to put the return spring on. Doo-doo-doo. Minor details though, you know. Hit her again. Oh, you bastard. It fooled me. Do her again. What the hell? It's acting. All right, give her a couple pumps, Mook. Let's see if we got fuel. Something's wrong. Try that.
Crank it?
Yep. Try her again. Climb up. Mook, I'm gonna go on a limb and say you don't have a working fuel pump.
Heck. I just got my fuel pump in from O'Reilly's. It's sitting back there looking nice and shiny, but I gotta get the old one off first, of course. I can reach everything except for the hose clamp that you did that is pointing down.
I don't know what you're talking about. The power of the stubby. You'll probably have to transfer these fittings over to the new one. I'm not sure what's going on here. There's a stack of fittings on the one side. There's like 3.
I see that.
There you go. Get your dang fuel pump out of here, hacker.
Well, then grab the camera so I can work again.
Stinks.
It's a terrible morning. Yep, just as I suspected, I need the extension that I got out. Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yay, go move.
That was barely any pressure. I can't see it. You have to be my eyes.
You're on it, you just gotta press.
I'm on it?
Yeah. Turn it a bit.
I think I got it.
Maybe they can tell you
Oh
in the
my
comments,
gosh.
left or right.
These are so loose. Oh my heck. Oh!
Is the spring bad, or is it just happen to be sitting perfect where it's not compressing it? What are the chances of that? Well, the diaphragm's still good, because I can plug the vent hole up here.
No.
Interesting. Maybe a check valve or something in there that's no bueno. Well, let's hope that's the problem and not the lines. What you doing over here, Stinky?
Well, nothing productive.
Well, that's not what we should be doing.
Just, you know, a little bit of weight reduction here and there helps in the long run.
You got your new pump all ready to go?
Yeah! I'm excited! On other news, look how clean I got that gasket surface.
Yeah, with that timing chain there.
Yeah.
I'd hate to know how floppy that is. Let's not touch it. Use your bolts to stick through to keep your gasket aligned.
Hang on, I got one.
Hopefully the gasket's small enough that you can thread it through. Yes. Oh yeah, that'll hold her.
Alright, here comes the fuel pump.
Well done, Hecker.
Yeah, it's lining up. Yeah, nobody move. Alright, I got all my bolts and lines hooked up and tightened on the fuel pump down below. Now it is just a matter of hooking the fuel line back up to the carburetor here. And we're done. I got all everything tightened down and everything, so now the last step is to see if it runs. Are you ready? Again.
Again.
I'm gonna jump in the truck here.
You don't have to jump, you can just crawl in. It's in neutral mode.
Sure is. Ready?
Yep.
Cranky.
Alright, stop. Off. Oh yeah, the float's stuck. Good news is you had good, clean fuel coming out.
It's funny!
Give her a revvy. God, wide locks sound good through a glass pack. Well done, Mook. It's even idling.
I know!
We might have to turn our idle down a little. Let's all start over. Damn. that thing runs good. Holy crap, well done, Mook. That literally runs smoother than some of our new cars.
It's so good.
Give her another round.
I love this thing so much.
Oh man, ply blocks are awesome. Look at that. I think your exhaust crossover under the intake might be blown. It sounds like a tractor up under the hood. You hear exhaust noise up under the hood like this. But your exhaust is all sealed. There's an exhaust crossover on these intakes that are exposed like this. And they have a plug on the bottom, and that plug rusts out. It makes it sound like there's exhaust being let out up here, as there is. Well done, Mook. Give her one more. Thing doesn't even smoke.
Alright, I'm gonna
Well, there you go. You got yourself a nice, beautiful interior. Doesn't smell like mice. A working fuel system and a running motor.
Yep.
Damn good running motor. Good job of that carburetor build like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
That was you.
Yeah. Yay, I helped future me.
That's the second 2100 I've ever seen rebuilt that works in our hands.
Alright, it's time to get this truck out of here. Let's go! Making sure I can still find reverse. There it is. Alright, ready?
Damn.
There you have it. The truck's alive once again. And that's going to do it for this episode of Junkyard Easter eggs. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe below. Thank you to Kevin for helping me in the last half of this. We'll see you next time right here on junkyardmook.com. Goodbye.